Hey everybody, so I've recorded this video probably, this is my 4th time recording it. I originally was going to do it scripted, and then I decided that sucked. So I like freestyled it twice, and I didn't like the way either of them came out. So I'm gonna try and convey my thoughts and opinions and some cold hard facts as well in hopefully a more structured manner, but still without a script. I hope you guys are willing to hear me out on this. I hope you guys understand what it is that I'm trying to convey, because I kind of suck at that, if you guys haven't noticed, because I've been around for a while. And also, I do apologize for the serious nature of this video. Those of you guys that have been to my streams know that I'm usually joking around. I just like to tell jokes, tell scary stories, mess around, move on with my day. But all of that being said, there's been an issue going on in the horror community for a while, and the issue is people narrating stories without permission. The majority of narrators do get permission. The majority of narrators do this the right way, but there are enough that do it wrong for me to feel like this video was necessary. Now, I want to make this very clear. Anytime that there is something posted to the internet, that does not mean that you are allowed to just narrate it and upload it to your channel. Not how it works. You need to get permission. If you don't, that is what is commonly known as copyright infringement, and you can get a strike on your channel for, you know, narrating a story without permission. I also want to get this out of the way before I get too far in, because I feel like it was one thing that I wanted to mention when I recorded this before. There's a lot of work that goes into narration. There is a lot of work that goes into growing a channel in this community, especially with how saturated it is. There's a lot of value to it. I would say narration is an art form, the same thing as music, drawing, writing, so on and so forth. All of that being said, by definition, narration is not transformative, and it needs to be transformative for it to be fair use. When I talk about people stealing stories, really quick, there's a common misconception that stealing stories, when a narrator quote-unquote steals a story, that people are talking about some other narrator narrated it first and then somebody else narrated it. That is not what I'm talking about, and that is not stealing a story. That is simply two narrators uploading the same story because they had the same interest in the same story. It's that simple. When I say stealing stories, I'm talking about narrating a story from... I'm going to use NoSleep as an example. NoSleep is a Reddit forum comprised of fictional stories written by many different talented authors. Stealing a story is where you just hop on NoSleep and you're like, I like this story, so you record it and upload it to YouTube. You can't do that. You need to get permission. And I want to make this very clear as well. In regards to this topic, I am very much on the author's side of this. There is no reason for a narrator to not get permission before narrating a story. There just isn't. There's no way to defend it. There's no way to say, well, you know, the narrator puts all this work into their video, so they should be able to do it. No, it's the exact same as somebody drawing something and then somebody else is like, I like this, it's mine now. It's very much the same thing. I hate being this serious, guys. I hate it. I want to just tell scary stories and joke around, but if this wasn't a big deal, I wouldn't be talking about it. And it just sucks because there's so many authors out there that are so supportive of this horror community. They enjoy it just as much as me and you, and just my last video that I uploaded, right? Those were 10 stories. Those were from 10 authors that were okay with me following my dream of doing YouTube and allowing you guys to listen to something that they wrote. They don't need to do that, but they do because, you know, they have some kindness in their heart, and they want to see people succeed. And it sucks that there's people that don't want to see them succeed. They're just totally fine with taking their work and uploading it and profiting off of it, and it just sucks. I mean, I don't think I have to explain why it sucks. It just does. So the main reason why I'm making this video is just because there's so many misconceptions, and I understand, you know, if you're just a viewer of the content, you don't care about all this, you just want to listen to the content and move on with your day. But I wouldn't be bringing it up if it wasn't a major issue. There's actually a group called the Sleepless Watchdogs that document all of the channels that steal stories, and I think it's a good thing that they do. Look into it if you'd like. I want to also say, please don't witch hunt channels that have stolen stories in the past. Odds are if somebody stole stories in the past and they're still around now, they aren't stealing stories anymore, otherwise they probably wouldn't still exist. Also, I can understand that there's people out there that just don't understand that you need to get permission. Like, let's say somebody is a big fan of me and some other narrators and they want to try their hand at it and they get into this and they're reading stories and they don't know that they need to be getting permission. Later on they get caught for it. I don't like to see anybody get hate. I don't like to see anybody feel like they're being attacked. So I can't stress enough that this video is not for that purpose. This video is simply just to inform you guys about how this stuff works. Let me just explain my process, right? So when I go to make a video, the first thing I check is my subreddit. You know, stories that are sent in from you guys. I'll narrate those stories, of course, because I'm very excited that there's people that are willing to send in their stories. That's really awesome. But as you guys know, I upload pretty long videos and I upload pretty frequently. My channel is not big enough to survive off of my subreddit. So therefore, I'll go on to most commonly NoSleep. There's a few other places, but again, I'm just going to use NoSleep as the example. I'll go into NoSleep and, you know, just read some stories, and I genuinely enjoy reading stories as well, just to myself, even after all this time. And when one catches my eye and I'm like, hey, you know, this might be a cool story for my channel, I shoot the author a message and I'm like, hey, is it okay if I read your story? Blah, 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 blah. This is my YouTube channel. You'll have on-screen credit, so on and so forth, is typically how I word the message. I mean, there's more to it. You know, I might say like, I really like this part of the story. Whatever, I'm just getting too detailed now. If they reply saying, yeah, that's cool, then therefore, I narrate the story for the channel. And if they say no, then I don't. And it's totally within their right to say no. Like I said, they don't need to say yes just because I asked. But if they say no, that means I cannot narrate the story. And that is totally within the author's right to decline that request. Because a lot of people are like, well, the majority of authors are okay with people reading their stories, so therefore I don't need to ask. Yes, you do. First off, that author might not be okay with you reading their story. Secondly, I can guarantee that they won't be okay with it if you can't even give them the respect of asking. I mean, I could just go on and on with different points. I'm gonna kind of get a little bit specific. A common argument that I see is people are like, well, my channel's not monetized, therefore, why does it matter? It does matter. It does matter because you're distributing somebody else's story that they worked really hard on, and you're just posting it to your YouTube channel like it's yours. You can't do that. You can't do that. There's many reasons for authors to say no. It might just be because they don't want their story narrated. It might be because they're working on a bigger project and they literally won't be able to proceed with that project if parts of their story are uploaded to YouTube, because now it's distributed elsewhere and they're gonna have a harder time getting it published or whatever. That's a thing. So this whole entire video is just to say, when I shout out an author, when I talk about this video was possible because of the authors, when I say a huge thank you to all of tonight's authors, I want you guys to understand these videos exist because of them. Yes, I do write some of my own stories. Yes, you know, so on and so forth. Yes, this channel would probably still exist in a different format if those possibilities weren't open. But all of that being said, it exists in the way that it does because of the generosity of these authors, and it sucks that they are getting their work stolen from them so commonly. Just to wrap things up, it's causing a rift in between authors and narrators, which sucks because, as I said before, a lot of authors are very supportive of the narration community, but if people continue to steal work from them, they're probably not going to want to continue to work with us, and I can see why. I can understand. If I wasn't a narrator and I was an author and I took pride in my work and I was uploading stories to NoSleep and there were people that were just like, oh hey, I like this, I'm going to narrate it, and then posted it to their YouTube channel, profit off of it, I'd probably grow a hate and disdain for narrators. And I'm sure many of you guys feel the right way because you're getting something that you worked hard on stolen from you, and that's not a good feeling. I've had people re-upload my YouTube videos here on YouTube I've had people actually upload my videos and get more views on my video than I did. It's not a good feeling. I'm not trying to say that I know exactly how they feel. I'm just saying that I have a general idea and I know that it sucks. So I think I already mentioned this. I've recorded this a few times now, so I'm not sure if I did. But either way, I'm just going to close off the video with saying, please don't witch hunt anybody that you suspect may be stealing stories, because there's really no way to prove or disprove it unless you're the author of one of those stories. You know, let them handle it. Let them handle it privately, because we don't know their situation. We don't know the whole entire backstory. Just because somebody doesn't have credits on their video, it does not mean that they're stealing stories. There's many channels here, story narration channels that thrive off of their own stories, stories that they pay authors to write for their channel, stories that are sent in by subscribers anonymously. All of those things are a thing. There are channels that are completely driven off of that. So please never make the assumption that somebody steals work, because it may not be the case. I just want you guys to be aware of it. I want you guys to just, I guess the main reason why, there's two reasons why I made this video. The first one is I just want any narrators that might not be getting permission currently to see this and start getting permission. The second reason I'm making this video is I think it is important for just any viewers of the community to be aware of this as well. Just for the simple fact that I want you guys to understand the value in the authors that contribute stories to my channel and various others. I think this might have been my best take, so I'm probably going to go with this one. I know you guys don't care about that part. I again apologize for the just really unprofessional nature of this video, as in it's not scripted, it's over like Dead by Daylight gameplay. It's very out of character for me. As long as just anything was learned from tonight's video, then it's worth it to me. I'll have some more stories up here in a few days. I hope you guys are excited for that. Thank you guys so much for the recent support. I can't thank you guys enough. Thank you to all of the authors that allow this channel to exist in the way that it does. I appreciate you, and many of us narrators do. Please don't let the actions of the few destroy the hard work of the many, because that's not good for anybody. I hope you guys have a great night, as always, and I'll talk to you guys later. Good night, everyone.